how we can use data manipulation. So what can be done? Yesterday we discussed what can be done with data manipulation in Pandas, and today we are going to see how we are going to work with string operations in Pandas. Now, the first thing which we can do is to import these things as usual, importing NumPy and importing Pandas. Once we import those, then I have created a separate data for different data frames. So we have 8 different data frames. So we will be working around each and every data frame separately to check how it's working and all. Now this is data where we have this row column and we have specific rows as well. And this data will be stored into this data frame df1. Now if I run all of those things, we will be having 8 such different data frames on this data. Now let's say if we want to print df1, yeah, we can see that there are only names. Let's say if we want to see df2, there are only emails. Let's say if we want to see df3, there were text. So similar things. Now if I want to check what can be done with it, yeah, now we will be having different string operations which can be done with Pandas. Now basically whenever we have a column which is a string, let's say df1, whenever you check this df1, there are names. So the name itself, these are strings, right? Each and every row is a string. Now whenever we have such strings present inside this columns, where all the elements are, whenever all the elements are strings, then we can use the string operations by default under all the rows of the column. Here names column have all the values which are strings. Now we can play with it. Now let's say, what are we trying to do? We want to change all the rows inside the column into this lowercase. So before what is the df1 here? Previously it is Alice, Bob, Charlie and David. So there are different types of cases here. This is a complete uppercase, this is a camel case, and this is a lowercase. Now let's say if we want to convert all the names inside this data frame. So in this data frame, if we want to convert all the rows inside this column names to lowercase. So by default, this names data frame. Okay, the names column in the data frame gives, I mean, there is an operation which is string operation which can be performed on top of that because all the elements are strings inside this column, like all the rows are strings here. Now of string data types. Now let's say if we do this, what will happen? Each and everything will be converted into lowercase. So all the rows inside the column names can be converted, this names column, all the elements will be converted into lowercase. Now we can check here. We can check df1. To run this cell, then you can see whenever we convert all the rows inside this column names into data, I mean to lowercase, we are assigning a new column to this data frame which is lowercase, and then we are modifying all the rows which are inside these names using the string operations lower. Then what do you have in the new column which is lowercase? We are going to have all the modified versions of rows and the lowercase alphabets of those letters, those words. Now Alice is converted into Alice, camel case is converted into lowercase, and this is Charlie, which is uppercase, converted into lowercase, David lowercase. If it is already lowercase, then there is no change happened on that. You can see this is a very this is very same exist previous one and existing one as well. So that is how it happened. Now, let's say if we want to convert the same things into uppercase, how can you do that? Again, we can convert that into uppercase using this str.upper. So there is a function known as str.upper. Using that, we can convert all the names, see, all the rows inside the column names into the uppercase values. Now, if I run this cell and if I check this data frame, we can see there is a new column added up known as uppercase. Why? Because whatever we are performing operations on the name, that values which are changed of all the rows of names column into the uppercase letters, and a new column of uppercase is added to the data frame with the uppercase. See, Bob, which is camel case here, turned into uppercase. Charlie, uppercase, because if it is same the uppercase previous as well, then it doesn't have any change in the new column as well. So that is how it is going to be done. Now, simply, if there is something, if you want to change something into title case as well, let's say if you want to turn something into title case, what we are turning into title case? The names here, the names. So names. So the names column, again the names column has been taken and we are turning it into title case. What is title case here? Title case is nothing but the camel case. The first letter will be the uppercase and the rest of the word letters will be lowercase. That is what a title case is. Now this is by default a title case previously, and now it has no change on it. The previously it is uppercase, now it is a camel case. Previously it is a lowercase, now it is a camel case. That's how it is going to happen. Now, if we want to print all the different types of columns which are generated here, so let's say we can do like this as well. So this is a lowercase, uppercase and title case. This is nothing but whatever we are seeing here in this data frame. Yeah, this is what it is showing, lowercase. This is lowercase, this is uppercase, and this is title case. So this is how we can play around with all the rows which are string data types. If we have a column by default which has all the string data types in it, we can have the string operations where we can use pandas to call those string operations and to work on these columns which are of string data type.